more like that. Brought in the blueback speller. And you see that he began with a blueback speller.
Does that mean a blue cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Around here. The house that the Bruces lived in Savannah, they painted it with the paint that Dr. Carver had founded or had made. And they were very good friends, as you saw from the letter where he asked about the Bruces. Oh, they had everything in the room came from Tuskegee. They had the papers, the books, they had some of the same thing that Dr. Carver has here, the chairs, everything came from Tuskegee. Consequently, they call it the Tuskegee room. This is one of the prizes because he used the Alabama clay to make those colors. And this is a dogwood. But isn't that pretty? All this is
beautiful. Looks like pastel crayon.
When you look at these colors, you look at the colors he extracted, you'll find out that he used that for the colors for his picture. In the woods, every little thing he could find, he'd pick it up and bring it to this office, or even in his own room where he stayed. And then you see him with branches of bushes and trees. And you wonder, what is he going to do with it? As simple as they look, here's what he did with it. He made such things as, and we were taught the weaving. And look at this. This is some of the work that he did from the things that he got out of the woods.
Wow, that's lace.
Yes. Yes, now how did he do that?
Gorgeous.
You can see some of the material that
he used.
Which came from the woods. We were taught to weave like that. We were taught how to make these hot plates that we called hot plate pads. They used to get burlap sacks, and I would show them how to make rugs out of them. And now, many of them, they had to have needles, crochet needles. But they didn't have any money to buy needles. So we would get twigs and dry them and cut them in such a way you had that you had the needle part, and they would use that and crochet and make rugs because it took a large needle. died from some of the stuff that came.
All
Yes.
natural dyes. That was my dream at one point. Was to make all natural dyes and all natural materials.
This is made of bark from a poplar tree. There's some more of the work that he did with his hands, his artwork. And this is the best school of veterinary medicine in the country.
I'm not surprised.
The best.
I'm not surprised. That building. That's right. Oh my goodness, is this the inside of the barn? No, that's the inside of the building.
What, this?
His,
Oh yes, this is in the,
in the building.
Yes, this is the wheel bank. The barn is where they used to keep the
Animals.
horses and cows. And my husband, Bill, used to work there. That's the way he was able to go to school. He said he would get up, they had 40 cows that he had to milk. 40. Because Tuskegee used to furnish milk, butter, eggs, chicken, vegetables to the school and to people who lived in the community. They did that when I was here. They've had their own plant to furnish electricity. I don't know how far it went out beyond the school, but they had their own electric plant. Original, ready to be used in the science department.
How many?
These are some of them. It's 300 plus. I don't remember whether it was 20 some odd or 30 some odd. And these are some of the things that he extracted from the peanuts, including powder, and both powder for the face and biscuit powder, or biscuit powder. Buttermilk. Let's think of buttermilk from the peanut. Butter. Caramel substitute. Cream cheese. I wouldn't have even thought of that. Candy. Oil. By the way, can think of it, I have a little bottle of oil, of rubbing oil from Dr. Carver.
Do you?
It's very much, it's what they use for pains, to rub with. When I was teaching in these one-teacher schools, this is the type of stove some of them had. They had two types of stoves. They had what was known as, we call a pot-bellied stove. Mm-hmm. A stove that sat about 5 feet tall. Mm-hmm. And it had like a belly. And the others had stoves like this. this was the first building. Oh, there it's better. That's it right there. This was the church. And it was right on the ground of the church. There was Butler Chapel downtown. And there were two guys. I mean, one was white and the other was black. One was a slave and the other was a slave master. They got together and said, we need somebody who will teach the people who are here. And so they decided that they would contact Hampton University, Hampton Institute at that time. And the president and founder of Hampton Institute was a man by the name of Armstrong. And Dr. Carver had, Dr. Washington, who graduated from Hampton Institute. So they sent Booker T. Washington here. When he got here, he thought he was going to find a school. They had nothing.
Yeah.
So he went to this church, and they told him that you got a little outhouse. We call it outhouse. You can use that. And here it is.
And there it is.
So he had 30 students when he started.
30.
I don't know. I see the students, the 30 students, 10 of them graduated. They were the first ones to receive that diploma. And this is the way the diploma looked. It looked a lot like the degree I got.
Look at the way he made his tea.
Made his tea.
Yeah, look at his signature.
Oh,
Look at that. It's a little squiggly thing.
Yeah. Well, he didn't, Hampton, everybody had two names. And when they asked him what was his name, he said Booker. So they said, you have another name, Booker Washington. So since he found out that the others had two names, he just said Booker T. Booker T. Washington. And that T is Telfario. Booker Telfario Washington.
Telfario.
That's the name he gave himself. And here were the first buildings that they put on the farm. And that building there, that's the building that was on the back of the church where he first started. And I think if you can read this. This is the first. And so he put those buildings up after he got this land. And that's the way they were. Yes.
What happened to that chapel?
It burned. One night it was raining and they thought perhaps it was struck by lightning. And there are two buildings on this campus that burned. And it was just like somebody in the family. The chapel was the first one. And it just looked like somebody burned. I was going somewhere later on, just about 8 years ago. And when I got here, they said, you know, the academic, we call it the academic building, burned down. It's just like somebody in the family having died. Now this is the same type of uniform we wore when I was on the varsity basketball team.
Really? You played basketball wearing that?
I was on the varsity team, yes.
So it's pants with the skirt over?
It's, we call them bloomers.
Bloomers.
Bloomers. And our blouses were just like we wear the T-shirts now. This is the way the women went to chapel. They always marched. I didn't have to march because I was in the choir. But if you weren't in the choir...
Did you wear a long dress like that?
No. Dresses were like they are now, except they weren't micro dresses. And this is the way the dining room was. There's a dining room right there.
So you all sat at one long table?
Yes.
Oh no, there were quite a few tables.
You had 1,000 students. If you go into the dining room now, you can see that it could accommodate all of the students. No, this is Taylor. That's Scott.
There's Dr. Carver.
There he is, right there. Now that could
There were so many women teaching.
Well, you see, the school was started to train teachers. That was the objective, to bring them down, to bring the book of Washington. And that night I was awakened by the people just talking. Whoa, get up there. I could hear people talking. What is that? When I got up, I looked from here, over there where Whitehall is. And I saw people. I saw where they had set up their tables. I saw women, men, children. And it was farmers' conference, and the people had come from as far as they possibly could and had used this to set up their stands and whatnot. And it was it just made me feel so good. I don't know why it affected me as it did.
You know why? Because look how proud they are. They're so proud. And from what you've described, their life was so difficult.
Yes.
And yet finally, look at this gentleman over here. Look how proud he is.
Oh, yes.
And you see, finally, there's someone taking them seriously, their work seriously.
Oh, yes.
And recognizing them and having them. And
these are some of the things that they demonstrated. See, they had their stands, had their projects, their tracks. To me, it looked like it was so large in those days. But it wasn't. Now, on there we had all of the kitchen gadgets. We had everything showing the bedroom and the way you could improve your bedroom. We had everything for the farm, like the farm implements and whatnot. All of these things to show the farmers how scientifically they could improve their farm, the growth, the animals, and how to improve the homes. And they would come, and people all over the community would come. And the interesting thing about it is the first time we had the opportunity to have the movable school while I was there, we had selected a place known as Sage Farm to have the community, this school, because we felt that there, those people have a little better home. This is the first one.
oh,
Known as, just Wagon. This was during Book of Washington time. And this is where the students are outfitting the Jessup Wagon. And here it is very loaded with displays. These are some of the people who came up to see the Jessup Wagon because it had on it everything they had to show the improvement of life on the farm. Because Book of Washington told them, cast down your bucket where you are. You do not have to leave and go to a city. You can make a decent living right where you are. Then the name changed from Jessup Wagon to Booker T. Washington School. Booker T. Washington Agricultural School, and this is the first one. And this is the last one. This is the one that's here now.
So the teachers would travel in this bus, and would they live in it?
No, they didn't travel in it.
Oh, they
No, it'll be in one community one day.
One day.
And then it will move to another. And the demonstrations were given. But wherever they were, they would live in it.
Bricks made by students in the 1880s.
They had some of everything. Tailoring. And this is the men's department down here. And of course over here you had what was known as the emerers.
The emerers?
Yes. You had, I guess it was somebody by the name of Emery who gave money for those buildings. And there are about there are 4 or 5 buildings known as the Emerers. First Emery, second Emery. And that was, this building over here was the architectural building. Like bingo. I didn't bring it, but I don't need it. Okay, since I'm here, I'll go in and get the
Flour.
I don't know of anything else I need. Oh, we don't need anything else. I've got canned stuff, frozen stuff, some of everything.
Your freezer is very full.
Yeah, there's some other stuff downstairs, too. So,
I'm so full from lunch that I was thinking I would make the beets for us. We could have them either hot or cold.
We can do that tomorrow. Because we've got a whole lot of knickknacks that you can eat. If you like knickknacks, do you? Or snacks, as they call it. I have potato chips. I have corn chips. I have cheese, dipped.
Do you eat that? You eat that?
Very seldom. The only way I'd eat it is if somebody else is there, and I might have it and I'd tell them they can get it, and maybe I'd eat some of it. I have popcorn and just a whole lot of snacks that people can eat if they like it. So, and I'm just wondering, do I want to get flour? Now, I use flour very seldom whenever I am cooking and frying something, and that is not often.
Well, you're going to Chicago.
Yep.
And after that, you're going to Europe. And then you won't be back until the end of May. If you don't use it very often, I'd wait.
Until I get back. That's right. Because, this is funny saying that the students would rather have me to deliver their commencement address than Madeleine Albright. It's just, I just wonder. And I talked to these students. They're all white. I talked with them some time ago, and they seem to have been so receptive and so interested in listening at what I had to say.
Because nobody else tells them.
Maybe so.
Nobody else tells them, and it's a heroic story that happened, something they can touch. It's palpable.
Well, in this case, in talking with these kids, I did touch on the civil rights movement, but I spent more time trying to get them to think of their future and how they are to apply themselves and how to replace hate with love and things like that. So they must have liked it enough to ask me to come and speak to them. So I feel very honored, and it's very seldom I feel that way. And I guess I feel honored because Madeleine Albright is known throughout the world, and a lot of people feel that she has done a good job. Okay.
This is a man-made lake?
In Selma, Alabama, and see that they've got rags, old pieces of rags up to the window. Well, that is so humiliating, and so many people through the years who have come to Selma and have come to that house, because that was the only house that people could come to, like the vice president of Tuskegee, like Mrs. Booker T. Washington, Mrs. Mary Bethune, McLeod Bethune, Dr. George Washington Carver, and dozens of people, both black and white. And when they pass there, they see this rag up to the window. And it's humiliating. I feel so badly that they think so little of my husband and myself that they put a rag up to the house. And I talked with Rose about it. I told her that I was just ashamed, and that a group of people are coming in and take that rag down, and if they don't have any money to buy, let me know, and I'll give them some money to put, or I'll see that they put up at least a decent curtain or drapery or something to that house. There's no excuse whatsoever. Now, black people I think they've always stayed on this side of the lake, but they couldn't fish. And I want that rag to come down. And I mean, it's a dirty rag.
So August 18th, 1911. So you're not 90 yet.
Oh, I'll be 90 in a few more weeks.
A few more weeks.
August.